Now in this first problem, we want to find the opposite, the reciprocal, and the absolute value of this number, negative 10. So let's do this. Now I'm going to say that the opposite of negative 10 is the opposite of negative 10, but I think what they want for an answer is 10, right? The opposite of negative 10 is 10. If I draw a number line, here's 0, negative 10 is here, and the opposite is going to be the number on the opposite side of the number line, which is over here at positive 10. Now part B wants the reciprocal of negative 10. So the reciprocal is just going to be 1 over that number. So we are going to have 1 over negative 10, but negative signs you can write on the bottom, on the top, or out in front. We're going to choose this one. This is the most convenient. So I'm going to claim that the reciprocal is negative 1 over 10. In part C, we want the absolute value of negative 10. Now what this is the distance between negative 10 and 0 on the number line. So here's negative 10 down here. How many units do you have to move through to get to 0? It doesn't matter about the direction, just how many units between negative 10 and 0. Well, it turns out that there are 10 units. So that's going to be our answer here. Problem 2, we have some fractions, but that doesn't change anything. For this number here, negative 12 over 23, we still want the opposite, the reciprocal, and the absolute value. Well, the opposite of negative 12 over 23, what we're looking for is, I want the opposite of negative 12 over 23. Now the opposite, I'm going to say the opposite of a negative number is a positive number. So I'm going to write this as 12 over 23 and claim that's my answer. In part B, we want the reciprocal of this fraction. Now to get the reciprocal of a fraction, you just flip the thing over. So notice in this case the negative is written out in front. I'm going to put it on top, but out in front is okay. So I'm going to write this as, well, negative 23 over 12. That might be how the homework wants it. Or I'm going to write it as negative 3 over 12. Both of these work. And in part C, the absolute value, right, the absolute value is just going to be the distance between that negative number and 0 on the number line. So an absolute value takes any number, converts it to its positive. So this is going to be 12 over 23. In problem 23, it says we define the absolute value of a number as its distance from 0 on the number line. And distance cannot be negative. You're just counting the number of units you are from 0. So find the absolute value of this number. Right, so how far is negative 5/8 from 0 on the number line? Well, here's 0 on the number line. Negative, say, negative 5/8 is over here. How many units between negative 5/8 and 0? 5/8. There's 5/8 units. So I'm going to claim that the answer to this part is 5/8. Now in problem 4, we want to find the absolute value of this number right here. Now this is the opposite of the absolute value of 5. So if we just do this by parts, that is 5, and then you still have that opposite sign. So I'm going to claim that this is negative 5. Now be careful, the problem is not this one. The negative sign or the opposite sign is outside. It is not inside. Now if it was inside, it would just be this. Now problem 5 asks us to find the absolute value. You know, what it almost looks like is this. They're asking us to find, I could interpret it this way, find the absolute value of negative 4. I don't think that's what they have in mind. I think they just want us to simplify this. So what I'm going to write here is this. I'm going to write negative 4, and I'm seeing it this way. I've got that negative sign, or the opposite sign, and then I've got this absolute value of negative 4, which is 4. So I'm going to claim that that is my answer. And now here in number 6, we've got the same idea as in number 4. We're going to have that negative sign, and then the absolute value of negative 3/5 is just 3/5. So I'm going to write this as negative 3/5, or I think you could write it I always like to put that negative sign on top, negative 3 over 5.